Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 13th of November 2021. We've got some astrological news and shenanigans today. So we've got the moon is rather active. The moon is going to trine Mars and Mercury. It's going to going to conjunct Neptune and form a sextile with Uranus. Besides that, we've got Mercury in opposition to Uranus. So this means that there could be surprising or shocking news or information or messages come through that could knock off your emotional balance today. I know one of the themes of this week has been about finding balance within ourselves. So it could be, have we been preparing for today? The shock could be internal, so things coming up to consciousness because we've got Mercury in Scorpio, or it could be internal news or messages coming in that shock and surprise us. And then there's a need, because of that, there's a need for us to go deep into our core, down into the depths, and stabilise ourselves. The moon is in Pisces, so we're easily destabilised. The Pisces I see as fishes swimming in opposite directions. So it's like, ooh, what's going on? What do I need to know? What's happening? So it seems to me that theme of balance has been really important at the moment. So white cloth on the table. This is for Dr. Boots, who commented that couldn't really see the cards. So I'm going for a white cloth now, and hopefully you'll be able to see the cards better. So although I've just realised that I'm going to use the line striders today and they're white. So we'll see how we get on. So first of all, let's do some Gaia cards and see what messages Spirit has for us today with these. Okay. So what do we need to know for today? 13th of November 2021. It's really interesting sitting here every day and just seeing the trees outside just getting more and more bare as the leaves sort of fall to the ground, and sort of how much more sky I can see out of the window as we head through autumn and towards winter. Okay, what do I need to know for today? What messages are there for the collective? No, okay, I'm going to take those in because there's far too many dropped out there. What messages do we need for the collective today? Okay. The 13th of the 11th, 2021. Messages for the collective. What's going on energetically for us? What do we need to be aware of? Okay. Okay. So the card at the bottom, we have a hidden gift. I'll talk more about these cards as I get them out. We have eternal love. And then we have purification, water. Okay, so little note to Emma, am I holding the cards up long enough for you? Okay, let's have a look and see what we've got here. So, a hidden gift, sadness, an ending and a new beginning. Eternal love, happiness, harmony and fulfillment. And purification, water, emotional cleansing and regeneration. Okay, so often when we're facing endings or in sadness and grief and things like that, we struggle to see beyond that, and we get caught in the emotion of it. but often endings are always sort of then the beginning of a new cycle. In traditional Chinese medicine, the element of this autumn season is metal. And metal is about endings. When we look outside at nature and we see sort of the trees losing their leaves and things like that, that is also endings, but part of the natural cycle. So whenever anything ends, then we know that there will be a new beginning. There may be a bit of a gap between the ending and the beginning, and we'll find ourselves in the void of potential, or the ambiguous position, or the ambiguous place. Lots of different words for it, but generally when sort of something's come to an end and we're not quite at the beginning of the new thing. So when we're in that state, then the energy to tap into is eternal love, happiness, harmony and fulfillment. To know that we're all spirit and that we're always loved, we're always connected to the divine, both the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and we're always loved. I love the rainbow in this card and the bright sun, sort of connecting to us and knowing that we're never ever alone. And then we have purification, water, emotional cleansing and rejuvenation. This sort of connects in with both of these cards. The emotional cleansing that we find in endings and sadness, and then the rejuvenation with the eternal love. Purification with water also links me back to the hidden gift to sadness and the tears that we shed and the emotional release that is. Also like ritual baths and things like that, where sort of with going and having a ritual bath with the intention that the water is purifying and cleansing away sort of the sadness or anything that's lingering on from the ending of a cycle. Also, another thing that's just popped into my head is with Scorpio season as well. Scorpio being a water sign, fixed water sign, and using again water to go deep, to cleanse away those emotions that no longer serve us, that we've been maybe holding on to for a long time. Now is the time to let them go and to cleanse them away. So who knows? That's what I'm getting from the cards. Also with the astrology today as well, ties in with what I was saying about that as well. So let's see what the cards have to say about this. As I say, I'm using the Line Strider deck today. It feels like the right deck to use, especially with the oracle cards that have come out. Feel very sort of flowy and watery. That's the feeling I'm getting from the cards today. So what do we need to know for today? The 13th of November 2021. What messages does Spirit have for us through the tarot? Okay, a billion cards come out there. Okay, the card that I saw on the top was the World, which is again another card of ending cycles, major cycles ending. Okay, so again coming back to Scorpio. The Scorpio card in the tarot is the Death card. Ends of cycles, not all, generally not physical, but you know, sort of ends of emotional cycles or psychological cycles, letting go of what no longer serves us so that we can move on and grow. So lots of messages coming through today. Let's see, what do we need to know for today? Okay, so in the centre of the reading we have the Ten of Cups, completion of emotional journeys. Then we have the Knight of Wands, we have the Seven of Wands, we have the Two of Swords. Okay, Two of Swords back, Emma. we have the Death card. We have the Three of Cups. We have the Tower. And we have the Knight of Cups. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Moon. Okay, so let's start off in the middle of the deck. The significator of where we find ourselves. And here you can see the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is the completion of an emotional cycle, ready to start a new cycle. Sometimes called the Happy Ever After card, but can be sort of just the completion of any sort of emotional cycle. And as I've said before, we have to complete a cycle so that we can start a new one. Okay, in the background, in the subconscious position or the moon position, we have the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is air of fire, very intense, very, big ideas, want to do it straight away. And today it's actually making me think of Sagittarius season. Sagittarius the Archer, firing his arrows at the stars. So already we're bringing in this energy of Sagittarius. We don't move into Sagittarius season until next week on Monday. So we've got a bit further to go with Scorpio season. But as we shift through Scorpio season and we're shedding the endings and things like that, then it starts making space for us to think about new beginnings, new ideas on the goals and things that we want to aim for next. So already brewing up in the subconscious. Mentally, the Mercury card, we've got the Seven of Wands. So it may be that we need to sort of protect ourselves and stand up for ourselves. That could be standing up for ourselves against other people, but it can also be about standing up for ourselves against negative thought patterns and things. Be it when we notice our mind starting to go into self-doubt or limiting beliefs and things like that, then be in a position where we can say, actually, that's not true. I don't need to believe that. And questioning sort of those thought patterns and where they come from. So yeah, when these cards come up, it's not necessarily that we're going to have to defend ourselves against somebody or something externally. It can be about that higher part of yourself, defending yourself and putting up boundaries against the lower vibration energies and negativity that we can all fall victim to. Okay, then in the Venus position, the values and love and emotions and things like that, we have the Two of Wands. At the moment, our way is barred. We can't see where we're going. We don't know what's the right way to go. And so whenever sort of we don't know which way to go forward, then it's best to come back into ourselves and to stand in that ambiguous place. It's also making me think about the eternal love. Okay, this is speaking to me today and saying connecting to the heart, because it's in the Venus position, because the Swords is a card of the mind and thinking and thought patterns. And it's about, again, blocking our way. Come out of your head, come back into your heart to find the way forward. Also, there is a moon in there as well at the top of the card, so a connection to the lunar cycle. Then right in front of us, the Sun card, or what's consciously in front of us, is the Death card. As I've already been speaking to and saying this morning about endings of cycles and Scorpio being the Death card, this is just what's sort of saying to and summing up what we've already said, that now is the time for cutting away those old cycles, and making space so we're ready to know which way we want to move forward when the time is right. In the action card, the Mars card, which is action and will and drive and creativity, we've got the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups for me is always about celebrating with friends, and just taking time out from working, from worrying about things. Connecting with friends is always such a wonderful sort of thing to do, chatting and sort of getting all of that stuff out of your head and having solutions and things reflected back to you, or being able to laugh about your situation and things. Being with friends can so easily just change your mind state, and put you in a different place. What's working for us? We've got the Tower. Okay, so sudden change. This to me is talking about the Mercury opposition to Uranus, and that surprising or shocking news or information coming in can cause old structures to just crumble away, and old structures crumbling away is part of the death cycle. So instead of like fearing that, sometimes, you know, the best way to do it is just let it happen. Surrender to the dying of the old cycles, and it eases the way for us to move on to new things. And we can use the purification stuff for that. We can also use the connecting to the heart centre and trusting that we're going to be safe. We're going to find a way through. Okay, what's holding us back? The Saturn position. We've got the Knight of Cups here. Air of water. Okay, and when you think about air in water, you think of bubbles. Could be boiling water, could be, you know, aerated water, but there's lots of action there. It's quite unstable, and this is saying to me about that emotional instability, that sort of not knowing where we are type of thing. The messages coming through, or the insights with the Tower and everything, as I said at the beginning, could be destabilising us. So sort of we're not sure where we are. And again, the key to that is coming back to the heart centre, coming back to the Suit of Cups, centering ourselves, coming back into our body, out of our heads. The card at the bottom of the deck was the Moon. The card I got this morning in the mystical shaman oracle was the Moon card, about sort of, you know, being in tune with the cycles of the moon. We can't rush things. We can't hold back. With the connection with water again, the moon controls tides and things like that. As humans, we're about 68% water as well. So the moon and the influence of the moon has a big sort of ebbing and flowing effect on us. So it's going with that flow, but also I think also about, we're coming up to the full moon lunar eclipse next Friday, so we could find ourselves being more unstable emotionally as we go up to that, before something is revealed or we see something clear that's been hidden from us internally. So again, coming back to the water, connecting to the solar plexus, to the heart, coming back into ourselves and our power. So that's the reading for today. Do we need anything? Should we have an oracle card to see if the mystical oracle deck, should I say, has got any messages for us beyond that? What do we need to know? What guidance can you give us leading on from this reading. What do we need to know? I do love this deck, but I am still learning it. Yeah, that one. Let's see what we've got. Let's do that one. Many paths and many paths and flow. So many paths, to me, that always is about there's no one right way to do anything or to get anywhere. Everybody's on their own individual paths, and what works for somebody won't work for somebody else. And it's about trusting your own path as well. And then we have flow. Okay, just about everything that I've already said in this reading, flowing with the energies, not trying to resist or not trying to fight and hold on to the past. Okay, I'm just going to quickly have a look and see sort of what the book actually says. So 34. Okay, many paths. All paths lead to spirit. What you bring to your journey is what will determine if yours is a path of suffering, a path of wisdom, a path of bliss, or a path of loss. Consider the traveller who met two stonemasons. He asks one what he is doing, and the mason replies, "I'm squaring out this stone." He asks the other, who is doing exactly the same thing, and gets the reply, "I am building a cathedral." One man has a job, the other has found his work and calling. He is part of an endeavour much greater than himself. Be sure you pick the path of the heart. So the invitation, your call now is to take a big bold step and leave the beaten path. Heaven and earth are conspiring on your behalf to support you in this move. Do not dally lest you miss the moment. It's time to sail into the uncharted. Be sure you attend to both your path through this earth as well as your journey through the stars. And the medicine, you have outgrown your current situation and risk losing your way in your own backyard. You are being called to step out of your comfort zone. Respond now while the call is still a gentle whisper. Even though the woods look thick and impenetrable, venture in and let nature guide your steps through the dark until you reach your destination. Remember, if you do not know where you are going, any path will take you there. And then flow. That seems to sort of be in tune with what we've been talking about today. And then in flow, noticing we've got a great big full moon in this card. Okay, we could have a moon at the top of that card as well. So lots of lunar energy stuff going on today. So, okay, flow. This one's for Emma. Okay, so the essence. There is a natural movement of events in the world. You can see it in the phenomena such as the tide, the ebb and flow of oceans and rivers that rise up from the earth and then flow to the sea. The symbol of flow represents the effortless and natural movement towards a certain destination. It signifies an ability to gracefully move around obstacles and reminds you of the sense of allowing. We mentioned that both with the Death card and the Tower, not to resist these things and to just go flow with the energy. The invitation, when flow comes to visit, it's a sign that your intentions have been in motion. Now is the time to allow nature to run its course. You are being called to effortless movements and the path of least resistance. It's like being within music, flowing within partnership. Think of the artist who creates without guile or craft, calling creativity up from the soul and bringing it to life without effort. You are called to be like a river, knowing the fulfillment of destiny is assured. Enjoy the ride. And the medicine. Don't try to push against the river or swim upstream right now. Two of Wands. You can trust that when the time is right, your dreams will begin to take shape and you will be invited to dance with destiny. Right now, however, you must relax. This is not a time to bang on doors that refuse to open. Whatever obstacle is in front of you right now, trust this is for the highest good. It is an opportunity to regroup and reconsider your choices, and you must trust that your intentions will take form in good time. Consider this time a gift. Okay, so both of those cards really sum up sort of what we've already said and back up the message of the other oracles and cards in today's reading. So I hope this message has been useful, and I hope it resonates for you. If it does, then please like, share and subscribe to this channel. If you'd like notifications of other readings that I put out, then if you click on the wiggly bell, then you will get notifications. For personal readings, if you email me at the email address below, then we can arrange for a reading to be set up. Okay, thank you for listening and watching, and until next time, goodbye.